Hello, Job Doer here, and today's little test drive and show and tell, whatever, is going to be on these QuickJacks here. So, if you see my last video there, kind of long, but I had to put these things together and set them up basically. And now we got them set up. And plan is, I guess today's going to be a vehicle. So I'm going to come in through this door, I'm going to back it in over this, and then we got the hoses, right, coming down this way. Go into the power unit, and have their plugs into the wall, and basically we're going to jack up a car, and then I will do some work to that car and then unjack it. So don't worry, this is only on jacking it up. And what I'll be using is, we'll do a little closer look at the blocks. So real quick here, we got this one here. This is the large one that came with the set. And once again, to compare it, here is the small. Right, now they're interchangeable. You can stack this on that, right? Make sure they're square, don't cut any wampus them. And blocks. So, now then, what I had ordered and received just lately or so is this block here, huh? Yeah, that's the grooved one. Look at that. This is for pinch weld cars. But has little pegs on the bottom. Does it fit? Yes, it fits. So what I'm going to do is they suggest you can do, I think, up to 3 blocks. I wouldn't do any more than that. In fact, I wouldn't do any more than 2, really. So I'm going to do the medium block here and the pinch weld block to lift this vehicle up. And where these things will go is down here, first side. This here is a well right here. And over yonder, there's 2 more. One in the front there, and one back in the middle. Well, not in the middle, but back here. I'm sure you got a little bar there separating the 2. But you can put them in either spot, depending on where your car needs to be lifted at. So, that up there is going to be the front. Up there. It's going to be the front part of the car. And I'm going to get that set up, and I'm going to probably try to put in this back one here, and then adjust this one here. But I'm doing the inner-outer method where I have these 2 together in the middle, and that's perfectly fine for the wheels to go over. You don't need them necessarily touching unless you have like a real skinny car. Yeah, so we got that going, and then we will use I'll use this here. Right, to grip on that thing and pull them out. There's 2 of these here to be using. But I'll show you that in a bit. Let's start by getting the car in here. Alright, so step 1 here. Well, not step 1, we got some 2, but first issue. Now, got this vehicle here backed over. You can see the jack down here, right? Well, that's all fine and good. But yeah, the car needs to go back a bit more, maybe a foot or so. And let me see if I can zoom in on it here, on the vehicle itself. Right there. Yeah. Right there. You can see the 2 notches. In between there is the lift point for the vehicle. There's one up towards the front also, and that's what I'm talking about, pinch weld, right? There's that little metal that comes down and doesn't take a flat jack. So that there's going to be needing to be under the well of the QuickJack. So I'm going to just go ahead and pop the parking brake, and roll it back a foot, and then double check it. Okay, so that there's just a little bit, maybe too much forward still for the tire, but we can work with this, right? And goes back like that. So basically now I use the little gripper thing and reach in here and get up like this. See? Yeah. And there's another one. That one goes back. Sorry. Goes back here somewhere. Alright, get a little pull. Even back further. Right, so see, that's what you do with these things. And if you have two arms free, you can pull them both at the same time. Alright, so I got this here pulled out. And you notice I changed the position of this here to kind of up. I don't know if it's going to stay up, but it needs to lock in. Right. Now then, like I said, here you got your notches. It's real close to this well here versus like where the tires are. So I'm going to go for the first well and try lining this up here with the center of the QuickJack. And make sure it's the same on the back. Trying to get it centered on this rim. And now I'll go grab some blocks. Yeah, blocks. Alright, got my blocks. So I got my medium one. I'll stick in here this way. And with the cross notch, I'm going to use this part here to grab onto it. So same way, sideways. And it's going to go right in there. So I can tell right now, yeah, put this on here so it fits snug. Snug. Right. And then an inch this way. Yeah. It's an inch. There. Now then, I'm going to have to raise it a little bit to do the final stuff here. But that one there's ready to go. And I'm going to go adjust the back one here. Same thing. Just come over probably about an inch. Yep, that's good. And I'll do some fine adjustments down there. And I'm going to go set up the other side the same as this one here. I'm not going to film it though. Okay, so I got the other side set pretty good, and what I'm going to do is get the little button going here, right? Do a little up action. Wait, before I do this, make sure that your part on your this part here, little breathing valve, right? Make sure that's loose, which it was. Great. Now, commence with the operation. Alright, you guys check it out there. About maybe like an inch. Okay. Right there. I think it's going to be time to get some fine adjustments. Right about in there. If you twist it, probably like I just did, just put it back together, right? But this is going to take two hands. Maybe not. Reach in there, get that back together. Okay. But you're seeing the point here. If you have that notch, it's a little bit harder because you want to. If you just have like your jack, jack that came with the car under there, you just do one tire. You're doing all four at the same time. So basically, you get the point. Get that underneath that well. Right. And that's feeling pretty good. And do the other one, the front and the ones on the other side. So let me get those all into place. We'll be back for the lift. Alright, so I went around and adjusted all four blocks. So they should be underneath the lift points. And you want to make sure these rails are pretty much parallel to each other. Alright, so here we go. Up on the button a little bit. Okay, now that there's got the weight of the car pretty much on it. So I'm going to check visually. You can see there, it looks like it's on it pretty good. Alright, and then the one down here. Take a look at that. And it too looks like it's right on. So I'm going to check the other side and get ready to lift. Okay, so all four blocks seem to be good in place, and we're ready to go. So I'm just going to push on the up button here. Take a look here to get those wheels off the ground. Right. Kind of scary, eh? Car lifting. You can see that there is doing what it should be doing. It should be folded down like that to get in the notches there, in there. Now that's up off the ground, go ahead and kick it. No, give it a little push. Or a big push. So it feels pretty solid. Now, what you gotta watch out for is, of course, your head height. And we're in a standard size garage here, but I think I can lift it up to at least that first notch. So up it goes. A little bit more. There. Now it's past that first safety notch. And you know what? This here has good enough clearance for me to probably get underneath it and do my oil change work. I'll test it again for stability. It's rock solid. And I'm going to check the other side, make sure it's doing its thing. And yeah, make sure it's down there. And I'm going to back it off some, probably. Okay, other side's doing good. So now, in theory, if I back it down, do the down button on this thing, check this. That seems tight. A little bit, but still okay, I think. That might have to be adjusted so it pops up a bit more. But otherwise, it's not too bad here. As long as I don't lift anymore, maybe. Yeah, so that there might have to be adjusted. See how that goes like that? Has a nice tight brim there. So that one there might have to be adjusted so it points up a little bit more, but not too much more. But as that piston goes up, this whole mechanism rotates down to that. Alright, now then, that clamp down there should hold it if I push down. So I'm going to slowly push down on it and see what happens. Right. I have pushed down and it's not doing anything. Solid. So, this right here should be safe to work under. I'm assuming, now I could be wrong, I'm assuming that's what they mean by jack stands in place. Is that there is locked in to its part on that first notch. Right down there, and there's one more notch to go. But you know what? I think that's like 24-inch lift, and I don't see the clearance on top of this between the garage door and the roof of your car. So from here, I'm going to go back up a little bit. Yep, now it's off that block. And if it did slowly lose pressure, it should go back and rest on that block. If it fastly lost pressure, hopefully it still does hit that block. But I am going to lower it back down to that notch and call it good. And then work on this vehicle, which nobody wants to see an oil change on an old car. So I'll be back to lower this thing soon. Alright, so the operations was a success. I not only did the oil change, I did the air filter, and I did the cab air filter. So, good. Now then, I'm going to have to take it up a little bit to get this part here past the notch. Make sure you watch your overhead. Right. A little more. Now then, very carefully so, lift up on this here and make sure that bottom part is locked in like that. And do it on both sides. I'll be back. Okay, make sure that the pathway, there's nothing going to get crushed by the car. You want to make sure also your hydraulic hoses are, you know, within the inside here or outside the wheels. Then simply come around here and without getting any part of your body under the car either, go ahead and push the down button ever so slightly to let it down. This right here should go right over that locking nub. See that? And since I've gotten this far, it did on both sides. Ease it down. Double check you got nothing underneath your tires. Or about to get underneath your tires. Nope, looks good. And bring it on down. Night, night, Jack. And if your car starts to roll forward, just remember you maybe didn't have the emergency brake on. Right, so just hold it here like so. Roll it back, okay. And now it's free from the blocks and everything. I'm going to push that down a little bit more to make sure most of the juice gets back in this reservoir. And that is about it. After that, I'll remove the blocks, these blocks here, and I will, in this case, make sure the tube there is routed okay, but I'll push them both back to the center underneath the car, and then I can roll the car forward. That wants to kind of roll forward anyways, but not with my hand here. So, if you have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Hope this was a good tutorial on how to use this QuickJack lift. And safety first, wear eye protection, and thanks for watching. And yeah, I'll just wait a little bit while until the car doesn't want to move forward when I let go of it. Not today, car.